And Just Dial is certainly not like that. And Ram Kumar Krishnamachari should be joining us in moments from now to talk about their quarter, which, as I said before, let's get Just Dial up on the screen. I think the markets would be unhappy because of the fact that the revenue miss has come in. But, that's my first question. Ram, your top line growth has been tepid. YOY, that did you know that we will do in moments from now speaks about that. It's the lowest revenue growth YOY since your listing. What's happening here?
Sure, certainly. So as far as competition from Google is concerned, definitely Google is expanding into transactions. As you see, they have advertising as well on how consumers can make transaction, and this I think it's a part of their own evolution to get into the local search space, and they are doing their bit in trying to attract consumers. But from our perspective, it's all the whole transaction part of the e-commerce is still evolving, and the jury is out there. There are a lot of irrational practices going on. Our belief is that while our course we remain the platform of choice when it comes to local search, core search, but when it comes to transaction, we are going to be cautious in making sure that we don't do any of those irrational irrational business practices to sort of attract consumers. So we are quite confident that once we start advertising, once we spread awareness among the mass consumers, the consumers will figure out that here is a better, efficient place for them to not only search but also transact, and combined with our JD Social that we have launched, where people can interact with friends and families, and we believe that there is some compelling content that we are creating and a network effect that it would create in making sure that the consumers remain on our platform to both search and transact. So that is what it is as far as the competition is concerned. So we are quite clear that we are not going to get into any of those practices of buying consumers or buying customers, because we believe that that's not sustainable in medium to long run. Short term you may attract, but
Ram, let me come in here because we are slightly short of time as well. Of course, we need to address a lot of other questions. Your run rate in the paid campaign additions has slowed significantly. That's the other concern. So what growth do you see here, as efforts will take a couple of quarters to yield results, if I'm not wrong?
So our belief is that it would, we don't see this changing dramatically in the next few quarters. I mean, we will see marginal improvements over the numbers that you've seen. So that's what it is. See, I think currently we are seeing 12%. We will perhaps we hope to get into a run rate of high teens by the time we enter Q4. That's our belief.
Ram, now we understand that EBITDA margins will remain under pressure in the near term, but how much more they will slip before they will stabilize?
If you exclude the ad spend, I mean, ad spend is something which you set it's something, a lot of it would be one time at this point. If you exclude the ad spend, then we are looking at, because we are upfronting some of the expenses, the margin should be in the, it will be a couple of points down from what it is right now, but it should look up from Q4 onwards, because the sales should start improving, and we should see visibility of accelerated sales growth from Q4 onwards. Hence, margin should also start improving by that time.
Right. You will be merging your data and information unit with the parent. Is this just consolidation of international operations? What's the rationale?
So we are consolidating all our international assets that we have under Just Dial, and as part of that we had a small database division there, which we are demerging back into Just Dial, and that's what it is. So all the international operations will be under the umbrella of Just Dial.
And you've done a buyback at 1550, so just an update. Right now the stock is quoting at less than 1/3 of that value. What top line and earnings growth can you guide to investors to create more value addition from here?
Definitely, I mean, I am looking at certainly a double-digit growth. I don't want to say whether 20 or 25%, whatever number that would be. Definitely, I am hopeful that it will be far better than FY16. We are hopeful FY18, FY17. Not, I know I don't want to comment anything on that because we are making those necessary investments. So our belief and hope is that definitely we will bounce back to some of the historical growth rate that we have seen in FY18, and we should start seeing that. And certainly we are quite confident that the steps that we have taken will yield us results in FY18, and we are certainly hopeful that we will bounce back to historical growth rates.
All right, Ram, we wish you good luck, but frankly, it's getting difficult, for us to predict what's going on with Just Dial. It was the most haloed stock. Let me put it this way: it was the cult stock of 2013 and 2014, and big parallels were drawn that what Google has done to America, Just Dial will do to India. And then the management commentary has just not tied in with the numbers. They're confident, they're trying hard, they are getting new platform launches, but somehow I don't see the importance of Just Dial, at least in a day-to-day life. And I'm just saying, as a user here, I would browse, I would go to the website, I would go to their app, at least use the service once or twice in a week. Now I don't see that happening because a lot of new products have come which are much better, much more superior than Just Dial. Now the stock on your screen, 469. I'm not saying this is a boom and a bust story, but yes, the halo effect which Just Dial was enjoying a couple of years ago, that has got diluted. That's the risk with some of the technology companies. I mean, if you get it right, you get it absolutely right. If you get it wrong, then the technology changes so fast that you may actually be part of the dustbin of the financial history. Who would have thought that Nokia would be a dead company and BlackBerry with BBM Messenger will not survive? But the grain of truth is that Nokia is bankrupt and BlackBerry was bought over by Prem Watsa. And Yahoo, the company which came out with the most formidable search engine. I mean, we can go on and on that, technology and trends, they change. And Just Dial is again one of those. I mean, it was the cult stock, Neeraj. On a daily basis, we would get up and say, okay, Just Dial.
Yeah. On the phone, yes. This year on the phone, it was the first port of call. Call 8888888 and ask Just Dial about it. But somehow it's got...
What's your view?
Yeah, Kunal, as a stock, what's your view?
Well, I think as a stock, I think it's on downtrend only. I think there is some sign of support at 460, 450, but I think it's probably from a trading perspective. I think the volumes in the last 1 week have increased, so I'm not really taking a call over here as such to buy. But I think the stock, changes trends. It breaks 500, 520. I think that is where you can see some meaningful uptrend. But I think at this point of time, it's difficult to call.
Another interesting stock, and since I just saw this one on the technical side, is Jubilant FoodWorks, again the most haloed stock. And I think what has hit Just Dial is the fact that today you got